I've been keeping up with gang stalking news. In doing so, I came across a pretty fucking disturbing story, but um, I'm not surprised by this story. I scour the internet and, talk to people who claim to be targeted individuals and, just basically figure out what exactly is going on in the world of gang stalking. So I haven't confirmed this story is true, but it seems very true. It seems like it is. So there's a story of a guy who committed a mass shooting. Well, not really a mass shooting, but he shot 4 people. And before he did it, he basically just like made like this video, that talks about the stalking and shit. And he says he's a TI, and the people have the ability, they're using mind control, and your thoughts aren't private and all that shit. So I wanted to kind of just talk about what this guy was talking about and how he responded to the stalking and, go into that shit. So first off, the guy seems like a pretty nice guy, regular, normal guy, and he shot his neighbors, I think, because he said that they were fucking with him. And that they could somehow get inside his head or some shit. I really want to talk about this because this is actually pretty important. The guy apologizes for what he did before he did it. So first off, is this guy's story believable? Absolutely. The neighbors are always involved. Always. Your neighbors. So first off, let me just say this: your neighbors are always fucking stalkers. Always. I don't give a fuck where you go. Your neighbors are they're gonna fuck with you. I mean, so do I believe that his neighbors were fucking with him? Absolutely. All TIs know that your neighbors are always, they're always stalkers. Always. Like the way they set it up. Your neighbors are gonna be stalkers. I don't know how they can make sure that your neighbors are gonna be stalkers, but somehow they make that shit happen. I don't know, maybe they just come to them and just, pay him or some shit. What could have happened is that the government or some fucking person who's pretending to be involved with the government, or just whoever the fuck is responsible for this shit, probably just could have went to the neighbors and just been like, this guy is like a national security threat. Use those buzzwords. When you use those buzzwords, no one really starts asking too many questions after that. So most likely, because this is what I would have done, someone pretending to be with the government goes to the neighbors and people who live around you. What are these gang stalkers doing? Are they crying? Do I hear a baby whining right now? I feel like I hear a baby. Is there a baby? Someone has forgotten. Someone that needs to change the baby's diaper. I think that there's a very unhappy infant somewhere around here. I think there's a very unhappy little baby, and I hate it when babies are unhappy. I hate listening to them cry. Isn't that depressing? And you have to listen to them. They're always whining and shit. I thought I heard a baby. I thought I heard a baby crying. Must have been my mistake. Did you guys hear that? All right, going back to the story. So the guy he goes on to YouTube and he makes this whole fucking video, and he's basically just telling people about the gang stalking and how he is about to just fuck his neighbors up, which he does. From what I understand, he actually did that shit, and I completely understand. And I don't think the guy was a bad guy. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Fuck no, the guy wasn't a bad guy. He handled it in a bad way. But he's not a bad guy for doing it. I mean, the cocksuckers probably had it coming to him, to be honest. I mean, I hate to say that, but the cocksuckers had it coming and they fucking got it. They had it fucking coming and they fucking got it. I mean, as fucked up as that sounds, I mean, in reality, if you play with fire, you get burned. If you're trying to terrorize and, harass and, destroy people's lives, there could be some penalty for this shit. But the fucked up part is that he's in prison or some shit. So, I mean, I was like, well, I mean, like, your life is gone too. I mean, you took them out, but fuck them. Who gives a fuck about them? I mean, they aren't shit. You're gone. I mean, you're gone. That's fucked up. And it really was just not the best way to handle the situation. But I understand 100%, and there is definitely no judgment on this guy's fucking towards this guy. So so I just watched this shit because I watched the video. And it was really fucking depressing because the shit the guy was talking about, we all know this shit. We all can relate to it. We know that shit, that's what happens. We all fucking know it. And that shit can drive you fucking crazy. I mean, what happened was the fucking people just fucking, they drove the guy fucking crazy and he fucking did some crazy shit. That's literally what happened. So they fucking basically got themselves killed and him killed. And that's basically what they do. They're like a fucking virus, dude. Like, they just fucking destroy shit. Like, they'll just be destroyed. They'll destroy them, your life and theirs. So this was just a fucked up situation. But these people are fucking psychotic, man. They're like a demon or some shit. But so that happened. So that happened. Apparently that happened. I didn't research it. I took their word for it, and I did watch a video. So yeah, he goes on this fucking rant and he apologizes and shit. That is definitely not what you want to do. It definitely is not what you want to do. As much as you deserve your fucking revenge for what the people did to you, you do not want to fucking go down that fucking road. In my opinion. But like if you did, I mean, I would understand. But just think about it. Your life is over too. It's not like their lives are over and you just go about your fucking day. They take you down with them. And they really aren't worth shit. They really aren't worth shit, so fuck them. Who cares? Like, no one cares because they were never worth shit in the first fucking place. So the guy fucking, he threw his life away. But the reality, he didn't really throw his life away because he never actually had a life because they had already stolen his life from him. I mean, I should reword it. Now he has to do time now. I'm guessing he was arrested. I don't know if he was arrested or if he committed suicide afterwards. I didn't get into, like, all that. So, yeah, so apparently that happened. And going back to what I wanted to talk about. So the guy basically was saying that they have the ability to read your thoughts and some shit like that. I've heard this theory on Reddit in the past, and I think they call it V2K, where they can read your mind or some shit. So like, okay, so let's assume that you believe that the gang stalkers can read your mind, and maybe they can do free fucking read your mind. I don't know. They might be able to fucking read your mind, or they might be able to make you think that they can read your mind. But if they can read your mind, who gives a fuck? I mean, the way I look at it is, so what? I mean, who gives a fuck? I don't really give a fuck if they can do that shit. I don't give a fuck. So what? I mean, it makes life a lot simpler, to be honest, because now they don't have to ask questions as to why I can't stand the sons of bitches, okay? I was like, you don't need to ask me too many questions. Like, if shit doesn't go my way, obviously you know why. Obviously you would know what to do. Obviously you would know everything. It makes shit easier because I'm the type of person that wants people to know what's in my fucking head, and I figured it makes it a lot easier. So there's no misunderstandings about shit. There's no misunderstanding. So let's just go ahead and give that to them. Let's assume that the gang stalkers can read our minds. I was like, that's great. So now they'll know why I'm about to slap the shit out. Now they'll fully understand. I was like, it's good that they understand. It really is. So when I say fuck them, they don't have to ask a whole lot of questions as to why I said fuck them. I was like, well, you're a gang stalker. You can read my mind. You know why I don't like your bitch ass. Okay, if I'm not getting what the fuck I deserve, I'll know that you know everything. So you already get it. So I don't have to explain shit. If I'm not getting my fucking due, if I'm not getting laid, if I'm not getting my shit, you already know why. I don't have to ask shit. All right? So basically, if these people aren't fucking delivering, you fucking know that they know. Okay? They know everything. So if your life is shit or you're not getting your fucking fair shake, then you know that those sons of bitches knew everything they need to know about you and just told you to go fuck yourself. So that makes things easier. But that's assuming that these people weren't trying to take your ass, or were pretending that they weren't trying to take you down and they simply didn't know better, assuming that, which I don't think anybody is going to assume that at this point. But who gives a fuck what the fuck they can do? I was like, if they can do it, they can do it. But here's another theory that I don't think I discussed. Animals probably have the ability to communicate without using vocalization. I really believe that that's something that they may actually have. I think that as we evolved and life became more complicated, we actually lost that ability through evolution, because I think that as a species, we needed to have private thoughts, and animals may not need private thoughts because they're animals, they're more instinctive, so their thoughts don't have to be private. So like if you were a chimp or something, how do you communicate? How do animals communicate? I'm assuming the animals can communicate. They don't use vocalizations. They don't use vocalizations to communicate. So the thing is, how do animals communicate if they don't use vocalization? So I studied the African wildlife for a pretty long time because I was just intrigued by African wildlife. And one of the things that I've seen is lions and shit, coordinating attacks against like gazelle and shit like that they hunt. So when they coordinate attacks, they will basically have to stay downwind of the prey so that the prey can't smell them. Because if the prey smells them, it'll spook them and they all scatter. So they stay downwind of the prey and they have to remain hidden while they're hunting. If the fucking prey animal sees them, it'll run. So fucking lions can not only so lions coordinate attacks, and when they coordinate attacks, they have to know when each lion is in the right position in order to spring the ambush, okay? They have to know that. And they can't smell each other and they can't see each other. So how do the lions know when every single lion is in position in order to spring the ambush? How the fuck can they know that? No one knows how they know it, but they know it. Right when the lions are all in position, one lion will spring the fucking ambush and then the others will know exactly what to do and how to do it. So lions are coordinating attacks. They know when each lion is in position. They can't smell the lion. They can't smell each other. They can't see each other. They can't hear each other. You have to remember that if they can hear each other, if they can smell each other, if they can sense where each lion is, then so can the prey animal. If they can do it, the prey animal can do it. So therefore the ambush wouldn't work. So how do they do it? So my hypothesis is that most animals can have some sort of telepathy that they can use in order to communicate with each other. And we evolved as a species to not have it, simply because we became more complicated and we needed to have thoughts that were private, and we needed to have thoughts that we could share. We couldn't, like, just imagine if we were constantly in communication with each other, our system of government, our civilization wouldn't function. Like if I could get inside your head and read your mind, I would just be able to find out your credit card information and all that shit, and then I could just like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like society wouldn't function. So at some point we evolved to lose the ability once we became like, more, I don't know, more evolved and shit, and started building the civilization and shit. Cause like we had to, because our civilization wouldn't function if we had that ability. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, so if that's something that is, if that's something that animals could do, it's possible that we could, redevelop that ability, maybe if we practice or learn how or some shit. Maybe these people simply just learn how to do that shit and everybody can fucking do it. I don't know. But the point is that fuck these cocksuckers, those motherfuckers. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't give a fuck what the fuck they can do. I can tell you what they can't do, and that's beat me. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I was like, they can do whatever the fuck they want, but they can't beat me. That's the only thing I can give a fuck about them being able to do, is beat me, which they can't. So I just don't care. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have like thoughts or ideas about this theory, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. I'll be the first to admit that there's no proof to back this theory up. But I mean, I'm definitely going to just assume that this guy knows what he's talking about. And I do, his story is super believable. So I tend to just believe any TI who, tells me stories about shit that happened. And that's kind of where my head is at. But yeah, if you guys have thoughts or theories on this, on this topic, I'd like to hear what you have to say.